Hey everyone, welcome to what is either a video of a major life transition or perhaps just a compilation of some poorly edited time lapses with my voice over them. You be the judge. Regardless, this video is about our big move from the surface of the sun, Tucson, Arizona, to a place where the air will hurt your face for half the year, Buffalo, New York. But that's progress, right? So why Buffalo? Well, Katlind's starting her PhD in biomedical sciences because A, she likes suffering, and B, she likes to fix the human body. And I am starting my master's in mechanical engineering because I also enjoy suffering and I like to fix pretty much everything else. So we figured that if we were going to emotionally unravel in any place in the world, we might as well do it in a place where there's snow and lots of chicken wings. So with that said, sit down, grab a drink, lower your expectations, and enjoy our big move video. Day 1, moving day. We had the simulated U-Haul with accurate dimensions packed in our living room, as STEM majors would do. We loaded Katlind's car into my truck and parked in a fire lane, and naturally, a fire truck and ambulance came that night. Shocker. With the gang in tow, we began our first 3-hour drive to Deming. I said my final goodbyes to Tucson with the Rita Road sign, a nod to the trauma I endured in senior design. If you know, you know. And so began our journey. 2 sleep-deprived adults, 1 confused but happy dog, 2 overloaded trucks, and vibes we would describe as cautiously optimistic. Quick thank you to Katlind's dad, Dan, for coming and delivering Bella, as well as helping move our junk. Also want to thank my dad, Chuck, for also moving our junk and committing to this road trip with us. I get to stare at the back of his trailer for the next 30-something waking hours of my life. And we arrived safely in Deming, and let's just say what it lacks in charm, it makes up for in dirt. But Bella was happy. Day 2, we got a 6 a.m. start where I made sure to take full advantage of the complimentary La Quinta breakfast. Nothing beats hotel eggs, am I right? We planned a 7-hour drive from Deming, New Mexico into Canyon, Texas, aka God's country. Being the good dog she is, Bella took a quick nap in her cage and probably complained less than I did on the entire trip. Today was already off to a better start. Katlin and I were able to catch up on a little bit of sleep, and she got to witness her first sunrise in maybe ever. We made a stop here to admire the scenery. Just kidding, it was a bathroom break. You may take your guesses as to who caused this one. Somewhere east of Deming, we saw our first actual trees. Not cacti, not bushes, trees. Major development. Katlin slept through it. The trees didn't last long though. Nature went back to beige almost immediately. After that, there was probably a 3-hour stretch of absolutely nothing. Maybe a couple abandoned gas stations, but not even a tumbleweed. We then drove through and around Roswell. No UFO sightings, sadly. Not an alien encounter. Not even a weird guy in sunglasses. Honestly, kind of disappointing. After nearly a full day of nothing fun aside from passing the world's largest pistachio, we were inching towards the Texas state line. I was on a diet of energy drinks and Rice Krispie treats. Thank you, Holly. But it finally felt like there were some positive times coming. And look, clouds! At this point, we had finally crossed into Texas, the land of my ancestors, the home of the cowboy. People unironically said howdy to us here. It was both Katlind and my first time in the state, and let's just say, it felt like home. We arrived at our hotel in Canyon, and they say everything's bigger in Texas, but we didn't realize that accounted for the mosquitoes as well. Day 3 started with a southern tradition, Buc-ee's gas station. I bought a hat and ate a banana at 4:30 in the morning, as one does. By the way, legendary bathrooms. We got dinner the night before in Canyon at the Texas Road Steakhouse, and I had the best chicken fried steak of my life. Top of my list for sure. We hit the road today at 4 a.m. per Katlind's request. Today was the first marathon day, projected at 11 hours to get from Canyon, Texas to Marion, Arkansas. That means we're cranking out Western Texas, all of Oklahoma, and all of Arkansas in a single day. With just our luck, that meant we were going to be driving through Oklahoma City just 2 days after the Thunder had won the NBA Finals, so traffic was looking fantastic. The gang indulged on some more Rice Krispie treats. We got to drive through Ozark, Arkansas. No money laundering, just Katlind trying not to get emotional. At this point, it started to get bleak. We were about 10 hours into what was now projected to be a 13-hour drive, and this is when I hit a wall. Everything looked the same. Nothing was exciting. There was no people anywhere. It was getting bad. At this point in the journey, something inside me shifted. My patience was dead on the side of the road somewhere in Oklahoma, and my villain arc had officially begun. I was ready to take down the I-40 and everything about it. To make matters worse, one of the times we stopped for gas, we actually found that one of my trailer tires was low on air, which was concerning, but not low enough to really be overwhelmingly concerned about. So we busted out the portable air compressor and filled the tire back up and hit the road once again. Minor roadblock in what was just an exhausting day, as evidenced by Bella. We had passed Little Rock at this point, and from here on today, I really don't remember a lot of it because I think my patience had worn so thin, and if it weren't for Katlind, I probably would have lost it at some point between Little Rock and Marion. But we were just chugging along. There's a couple of key highlights here that happened where there was a little crop duster plane that looked more like a stunt plane with what it was doing in the sky. And the weather had gotten bad, which was slightly concerning, but actually ended up being kind of a little change of pace. Oh, and we also almost got struck by lightning. Here is a stock image of the Mississippi River. We crossed it early on day 4, but Katlind was asleep, so we don't have any time lapses. We got to unwind the night before in Marion. I had a margarita and some mini chimneys, but little did we know today was going to be quite an eventful day. As you can see, we had to come to a stop. This was because all of our fears had come true. The U-Haul had gotten a flat, and unfortunately we had to wait for U-Haul to come and fix it. Bella got to take a nap with an ice pack in the front seat of the truck while we waited on the U-Haul guy. Luckily for us, it was quite quick, the process went very well, and we were out of there within 45 minutes. It is worth noting, though, that at this point, Chuck, the man of steel who had driven all the way from Michigan to Arizona, then from Arizona back towards Michigan, was finally wavering. His patience was running thin, and the flat tire was nearly the thing that broke it. But contrary to what you all might think, this is not just a story of failure or impatience, this is a story of perseverance and hard work, and Chuck prevailed. Although Charlotte was not the final destination, it was a solid benchmark and representative of how far we had come. We would get to see my mom and my dogs, Bean and Pig, who we had not seen in a year, and finally get to be somewhere that we actually wanted to be. As we got closer to my parents' house and our 12-hour drive came to a close, it became abundantly clear that Chuck's ambition was causing him to do something he had not done on this drive to this point: speed. Jokes aside, we arrived safely and got to see the retirement oasis that is Charlotte, Michigan. Once out the house, we took the dogs for a walk and got some much-needed rest. We took a break on day 5. The dogs were happy, we saw some snakes, and then we even had brats and sat at the dinner table like a real family. This is how Oliver and Lily felt about Katlind and I being in Charlotte, and honestly, same. Day 6, the last day of driving. On our day off, we decided to leave Chuck behind and do the rest of the driving on our own. So, for the next 7 hours, I was hauling the trailer, and Katlind and Bella were driving on their own in the other car. The route takes us around Detroit, through Cleveland, through Erie, Pennsylvania, and then finally, we'd make it into New York. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of time-lapse footage from this portion of the drive, mostly because I'm incessantly clingy and spent most of the drive talking to Katlind on the phone. We saw a nuclear power plant on our drive, which was kind of cool. Also, please don't ask about what happened at the mobile gas station about 2 hours into our drive. This is where we started to get really excited. You could see Lake Erie out of the left side of the car window, and the further we drove, the closer we got to our final destination. Our new apartment building really nailed that Soviet prison aesthetic, but the city was beautiful, and I think Bella was confused why we actually upgraded to 4 walls and a roof. Now that we're here, I can show you a few things that we've been doing since we've arrived. We live right next to the bougiest Walmart known to humankind. We've seen all the major sports complexes, but only from the outside. It costs money to get in. We live only 3 minutes away from the Lake Erie beach, so we've been there a couple times before it freezes over and absolutely destroys us. Bella helped us with rebuilding our stuff. She isn't very good with tools, but it's the thought that counts. We walked past the birthplace of the buffalo wing, but too broke to eat there. Here's another image of the skyline of Buffalo as we drove through. I got this awesome desk at an estate sale for a total of $10. Bella doesn't quite get a backyard, but she likes the grass nonetheless. We also walked around the campus that we're going to be attending this fall. So that was our journey, roughly 3,000 miles, 11 different states that we passed through of varying beauty, 1 flat tire, but we got through it with some minor emotional damage, and it was an experience, and it's an experience I hope that I never have to go through again. On a serious note, I really want to thank my dad for everything he did for us. We could not have done it without him when it comes to the route, hotels, feeding us, literally everything. Super supportive. We seriously couldn't have done it without you, so thank you, Dad. So thank you, friends, family, whoever you are, for watching our video, our big move across the country. We couldn't have done it without you. But I do want to say one thing, and that is that I don't feel sorry for you if you're still in Arizona, unless buffalo in the snow consume us, in which case this video can serve as our last known whereabouts.